Closest talking, top rope walking, ultimate Xing, serious flexing, never be bent with your boy Craig, and opinion mixing from Pete to Nixon, keep doing things in an impactful way, bloody nonsense as the Brits say, talking bloody nonsense.
Yes, it's me, it's the MIC, Craig, aka Mr. Impact, joined as always by the one and only Peter Nixon for this last Talking Bloody Nonsense of 2022. Hit right here on the TNIW channel. It's a new week, it's a new Impact, but first things first. Nixon, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks, Craig. Bit of a different setup today. I'm in the office, or the spare room. Kaylee's got a friend over tonight, so I can't use the living room like I normally do. But I'm quite enjoying this setup. I was trying to get her second screen working, but I don't think my laptop's quite compatible with it. But hopefully I sound good, and I know I look good.
There is that.
How are you, Craig?
Yeah, all good. Yeah, I suppose it's not really in the Christmassy mood this year. Yeah, not exactly feeling festive.
I feel, yeah. I mean, these last few Christmases haven't really felt like Christmas, have they?
No, it's been a bit meh. I'm more looking forward to New Year just to get away from the shit that's been this year. And also it's Christmas, so I've got more of an excuse to have a few drinks. But I guess we should get into some Impact Wrestling stuff. But before that, let's do some plugs. Of course, go check out TBN chats with Smashing Mike, George Lydon, Leon Slater, Charlie Morgan, Zach Knight, Lizzie Evo, Ricky Knight Jr. So many incredible guests. So they're all available. If you go on, if you're on our YouTube channel, they'll be on a playlist, TBN chats. You can watch more. Why not? As well as, of course, the main show with now with Jeff, and previous episodes with Lucha, and a couple with me and Max. They're all there. I'm not forgetting LOL TNA. They had their Hall of Flame as their season finale. Go check that out. Funny stuff. Power Rankings, of course, with Datia, Bert, and Lucha joining this week. If you're watching this already, Lucha would have already joined. But yeah, go check out everything we do. It's a good bunch of people. And don't forget to tune in on Christmas Day night, Sunday morning for us in the UK if you're awake, for the Nonsensies. They will be dropping soon. So, of course, go check out all that and enjoy what we do, enjoy Impact Wrestling. But now, without any further ado, let's get into it with pretty big news. I remember the peek behind the curtain for you all. I was out for Nixon last week when we finished recording, and we'll talk about what we're going to talk about for next week. We said, let's see what comes up. And something pretty big came up on Impact. Jonathan Gresham has signed with Impact Wrestling. Jonathan Gresham is a part of the Impact roster. And what a signing that is. What were your first thoughts? Were you massively surprised given the relationship he had with AEW? And obviously, of course, there was WWE, but he's with Impact for the foreseeable. Rumors are that Tony Khan has frozen his contract with AEW, meaning he can't go to work with WWE. That's one of the agreements, apparently. I don't know how true it is. That's the rumors I've been hearing. But what's your take on Gresham coming in? Do you think there's any truth to those rumors? Have at it. What's Jonathan Gresham with Impact Wrestling?
I am absolutely chuffed that Jonathan Gresham chose to sign with Impact Wrestling. I think it's a huge signing. Purely, not for the name value, even though he does carry a bit of name value, because he's just so good and he brings something totally different to the roster. You could slot him in anywhere He could be your next X Division champion. He could be your next world champion. He's been Ring of Honor world champion. He's bound to have fantastic matches with so many people on this roster. You could slot him right in with Josh Alexander and be the next world title program.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm absolutely chuffed because it brings so much to the Impact product in terms of match quality. I was a little bit surprised that he signed with Impact, purely because I thought if he was going to sign with Impact, he'd have done it already.
Yeah.
I know he said he was going to take a little bit of time out after the Ric Flair show. But it makes sense, he got dicked about by AEW, didn't he? By Tony Khan, Ring of Honor, etc. They really dropped the ball with that one, in my opinion. They had, a big superstar there. And Jonathan Gresham, he's not the most charismatic wrestler. He can promo, but he's not CM Punk level promo. But he's just one of the best pure wrestlers in the world. Some would say the best. So yeah, they fucked it, in my opinion. So yeah, the fact that he's chosen Impact, it makes sense because his wife Jordan Grace is here. But yeah, I thought it might have happened already. So I kind of given up hope. And then he showed right up, attacked Eddie Edwards, and a match nearly a year in the making. I think it was meant to go down at Rebellion, wasn't it? Eddie Edwards versus Jonathan Gresham. And then Tony Khan pulled him from the show. So yeah, the match is finally going to happen at Hard to Kill, and it will be a banger. I hadn't heard anything about the this all this stuff with Tony Khan freezing his contract and not letting him go to WWE. I don't think that's true. No. That sounds like nonsense to me. Well, what's your take on it, Craig? Do you think Tony Khan would do that? Do you think that's even something that could happen?
Well, I part of me can it pure mainly based on the Regal stuff, which on the Tony Khan said in the press conference that he's allowed Regal to go back to WWE, but he can't be on TV for a year, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Which is beyond ridiculous to me. That's something the WWE will pull, and for a company who claim they want to be different, who claim they are different, that's exactly what the WWE did, and what they always do. But I can believe it, but whether it's true is another thing. I mean, it's probably me being a bit biased because I don't like Tony Khan. I've made that very, very clear. I do not like the man. He's I mean, if you follow UK football, you know that the Fulham fans aren't exactly happy with him. So it's because the prices are too high for World Championship football for a newly promoted team. So, but on the rest of the stuff, I don't know. But as far as Gresham coming to Impact goes, I'm very, very happy because, admittedly, I've said it on here a few times, I'd only seen one Jonathan Gresham match before he came to Impact Wrestling, and that was against Alex Shelley. And I mean, I think it was just before the Pure Championship made its return. I think it was where I won the qualifying matches for it or something, or a tournament match or whatever it was. But everyone knows everyone who listens to this on a regular basis knows how much of a fan I am of Sabin versus Gresham from Hard to Kill. I love that match. It is one of my matches of the year. It bangs. So this is a great sign of Impact. I mean,
just quickly about that Sabin and Gresham match. That show, in my opinion, is the best Impact show in years and years. It's probably top 3 Impact TNA pay-per-view of all time for me. And that was the best match on the show. That's how good that match was.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, obviously, I saw the reaction to Gresham. Right, social media is such a mess. I mean, it's when you compare when AEW announced they had Jonathan Gresham, people were happy and said, "Oh, he's so good." But he signed for Impact. Oh, he's short. That's all people have. He's too small. He's they're almost ignoring the fact he's one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Yeah,
and has done so much. People, I saw again. I think we have to in the new year. I've got to read out some of the troll comments on Impact stuff because they are hilarious.
yeah.
Someone saying
this should be a weekly thing.
Yeah, because it's absolutely hilarious. I saw someone say
We call it Troll TNA.
Yeah, that's the segment for the new year. I have to try and make a graphic up or something for it because it's funny. Someone said that that he helped kill Ring of Honor. Yeah, someone saying in the Impact post and leave that he helped kill Ring of Honor. He kept Ring of Honor alive whilst no one knows what was going to happen with them
through the pandemic.
Yeah.
When they couldn't wrestle in front of people. That's me.
Beyond stupid that people think that. But when it's on the AEW side of stuff, he's great. When he has genuine concerns about the way he's being used or the way he's being looked at in AEW, and what has had enough and wants to go somewhere else where he can not only be with his wife regularly, but face some of the best wrestlers in the world. And
so many dream matches come from this signing. Gresham and Alexander. You could do Gresham versus Sabin again. Gresham and Shelley. Gresham and Edwards is going down at Hard to Kill. I want to see Gresham and PCO.
Yeah, I'd be off that. Yeah, it's so many to go through.
Gresham and Bully Ray.
I mean, Bully Ray would become next fucking level heel if he did that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what route he'd take, and Gresham will come off as such a massive baby. That's a crack idea for a feud. For me, I want to see Gresham and Trey. That's the one I went to first. Gresham and Bailey. I mean,
Gresham and Bailey. Oh my god!
Jeez, every match is going to slap. And Jonathan Gresham signing for Impact Wrestling is massive for Impact. This is a signing. I mean, we don't know how long the deal is for, but there's enough time to do a lot with him.
Yeah,
because Impact usually sign people for about 2 years. That seems to be their go-to. I mean, I say if it's true that Gresham's had his contract frozen for AEW, maybe they haven't been able to sign him for as long as they want. But I think, because again, the rumors I heard, I think Gresham signed a 3-year deal with Ring of Honor AEW, and that's obviously he didn't even work a year, so that's been froze.
Yeah,
and I imagine either that or Impact bought the contract out, but I don't think Impact could afford to pay what ROH AEW could pay. No,
and why would they do that? That would just be silly.
Yeah,
I'd just be throwing money away.
So it's no matter how long Gresham stays for, there's so much you can do with him. And Gresham versus Eddie is going to be fantastic. I cannot wait for Hard to Kill because I think there's might have been IO on the main show's Twitch comments saying that the booking of Hard to Kill is already better than the booking of Bound for Glory.
Okay.
because it has been built on feuds. Like it's
True.
not normal contenders matches, or it didn't feel forced. It feels like it should be going this way because they did a great job with it.
That's an interesting comment. We said, and Alec made this point. The Booker Man said that as much as Bound for Glory was a great show, that he didn't feel the hype for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a great shout by IO.
Yeah, I had to agree with on that one because it has gone really well. You've got Josh and Bully just being Bully, and Mickey James versus Jordan Grace in the title versus Korea, and now you've got Eddie and Gresham. It's gonna be a banger.
I mean, the tag titles just changed hands. Motor City Machine Guns once again the tag team champions. You're looking at Motor City Machine Guns versus Major Players, or maybe a 3-way with Heath and Rhino. You know that's going to be a hell of a match. I'd love to see Motor City versus Major Players on a pay-per-view. I think that'd be incredible.
I'd absolutely be down for that. But I mean, with if the rumors are true and Cardona is potentially heading back to the WWE, I mean, he teases it a lot, but he also teases a lot of things. He knows what he's doing.
Oh, big time. I think if he doesn't sign with WWE, I think we'll see Zack Ryder in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I do think he'll be in the Rumble.
He'll come out as babyface Zack Ryder, and he can use that in his heel persona on the Indies.
Yeah, I'm 80% sure he'll be in the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
But
I've already done my fantasy Royal Rumble book, and I think X-Pac is going to be in it.
Again, that's something I can see as well.
I'm calling it now. You heard it here first. X-Pac in the Royal Rumble.
There we go. I think around the Rumble time, we'll try and maybe we'll do a British Wrestling Rumble. Draft our own British Wrestling Rumble.
That would be cool, and we'll do order of entrance.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
I think we'll do try and do a British Wrestling Rumble. But I guess we'll move on from a new signing to someone Impact are interested in signing. But I mean, let's get into it. On Busted Open, Tommy Dreamer he's done this quite a lot now, but has mentioned that Impact would be interested in signing Mandy Rose if AW aren't interested, which has obviously got a lot of people saying, well, that can't be the mentality you have going into doing this. You can't be, well, we know we can only get them if they don't go there, which, I mean, logically, when you think about it, that's the hierarchy now. It's either WWE, AW, or Impact. That's the hierarchy. If you're not in WWE and you don't want to go to AW, or AW don't show any interest, then Impact will you can that seems to be the hierarchy of it all. Obviously, the Mandy Rose thing is just a mess. You've got it's always been very hypocritical, the right word, in terms of who WWE hire and fire.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this could all just be. And Mandy Rose may not even want to wrestle again if the rumors are true that she's already made like $500,000 in 5 days of her site.
Yeah.
What's your take on Tommy Dreamer saying that Impact if AW aren't interested, then Mandy can come to Impact? And do you reckon is Mandy Rose even going to go elsewhere?
So I think it's bollocks that she was fired anyway, considering during the Attitude Era, the WWE wanted women to pose for Playboy. I know times have changed and they're looking for sponsors and a family-friendly product, but it's an adult site. Kids aren't going to be able to access these sites without, you know, some legalities, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it was a panic move by WWE to fire Mandy Rose.
Right.
I think, from what I heard, she's been doing the brand army thing for a while, and I haven't seen any pictures. There's, you know, full disclosure, I haven't seen any of the material.
Yeah.
Hand on heart. I hope Kaylee heard that. So, from what I understand, the content was getting more and more explicit. Shawn Michaels found out. They panicked. They released her. And I just think when this all blows over, in a couple of months, she'll be back in WWE.
Yeah. I mean, again, I haven't looked at any of the content. I mean, I've obviously scrolled through Twitter to like see what the story was about, which was trending, and I wasn't going to click any of those links because I don't want to risk giving my computer whatever virus that link's going to give it. So like, it's from what I've heard and read and seen. Apparently, this account on Twitter, he's known to. I know the account. He's known to be a massive troll, and I've seen the messages as well. He posted some of the footage from Mandy's private site. Mandy then asked him to take it down. He said, "Only if you give me like, I think it was like $5,000." Like,
that's blackmail. That's illegal.
Yeah, he's trying to blackmail her. Then again in the same DM, Mandy said, "I asked you nicely. Now I'm going to get your account taken off Twitter." He then posted that, and I think they got taken down. So that's what I've seen. Which, you know, if you see in the DMs, then it's probably some truth to it. But I think Road Dogg was the one who told Triple H about it. And yeah, it's just a whole fucking mess. WWE, like I say, they're very hypocritical about this type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've got Matt Riddle in rehab for possibly failing a drug test, but Mandy makes money off her own back. It goes against their policy. Or you've got, I mean, how long did they keep Velveteen Dream on?
Yeah, exactly. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know, but this was all alleged, you know, with his noncing about, and now it's all over TMZ. Feels like every week you hear about Velveteen Dream doing some bollocks.
Yeah, you know, it's DMs of most of the wrestlers from NXT out there for people to find. I mean, Kevin Owens
setting up a camera in a toilet in EC3's bathroom.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I don't know.
The guy's messed up.
I mean, you look at NXT. Kevin Owens even made a joke about it with JD Muck Don't Google Me. Which perfect by KO, but it's again, it's out there. People want to find that shit. Like, it's the morals of WWE have always been in question.
Mm-hmm.
But for someone, I think it kind of the issue was the content. It seems to a lot of people the issue was that she was making more money than she was in WWE. She was making more money. I think, because obviously you've always had this no third party clause in there, in the contracts, like no Twitch, but Johnny Gargano's on Twitch, Mia Yim's on Twitch. I think Dakota Kai's as well. So it's all a load of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, when your founder and chairman has done all this dodgy shit, surely you can let that go. But in terms of Mandy,
sorry, Craig, to interrupt you. I think you hit the nail on the head, because you know these Twitch accounts, they're trying to monetize those. WWE are trying to get a bit of the piece of the pie.
Yeah.
And they couldn't be caught with their fingers in that pie.
No.
Take that comment which way you want. They don't want their fingers in Mandy Rose's pie.
No. No, it is. I think that's the. That's it. I mean, again, X-Pac is very much involved in NXT, and again, you can find out what he's done. I mean, but Mandy's doing it her by herself. No, she's running a site and she's making a shit ton of money from it. So it's all about just the hypocrisy of it all, which is WWE's. It's all WWE all about. So hypocritical. But in terms of Mandy coming to Impact, is if it is true Mandy's not with WWE anymore and doesn't blow over, do you think Mandy could come to Impact?
I can't see it happening.
No.
I'd love to have her. It'd be a big, name on the show. It'd be like the Iconics all over again. The Inspiration. It'd be good name value. Not the best wrestlers, but certainly can work.
Yeah.
But yeah, even if she does come, it'll be a cup of coffee because she will go back to WWE.
Yeah, you can see that. Obviously, when Mandy Rose first came to the main roster, is it part of Paige's Saray's group? Was it?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the group.
No, I really can't.
It was
because there was a lot.
Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose.
Yeah, because obviously there's a lot of comparisons to the Riot Squad, which it wasn't far off. But no, I mean, I would like to see Mandy in Impact because she's come a long way from whatever she was doing on the main roster. And like Toxic Attraction were one of the best matches on NXT.
For
a couple of years.
Yeah, Gigi Dolan and Lacey Lane are a fantastic tag team.
Yeah.
Now that
excellent.
Mandy's been exiled, they need to go up to the main roster.
Yeah. And it's been so entertaining. Mandy has been fantastic in terms of her character work. So yeah, she's some great matches as well. Excellent matches. But yeah, it's give Mandy her flowers. She's been excellent. And I would like to see her Impact, but don't really see it happening unless it might just be for a couple of tapings and then off she pops. But I'm intrigued. But I do think it's the kind of mentality that Dreamer was putting out there. That's not something you want to be presenting. You don't say it on the radio. Like everyone kind of knows it, but don't be saying it on a radio broadcast. That if AW are interested, then we are. Like no, like put an offer in. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
And I think because in NXT it's 30-day no compete, I believe.
Yeah, but was she still on her main roster deal, or did she get moved over to an NXT contract?
That's the thing. After waiting in release, I don't think I haven't looked at any of the dirt sheets, but we'll have to wait and see where it ends up.
I bet she's in the Royal Rumble.
You know what? Who knows at this point? I mean, the rumors are that it's gonna be a couple of Forbidden Door entries in the Rumble.
Yeah, I heard Kairi Sane might be making an appearance.
Hey, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Jordan Grace pop up.
Oh my God! Can you imagine? If I'd let her shoot on everyone, just throw everyone over the top.
Yeah.
Because what are you going to do? How are you going to stop her?
And have her go in the men's Rumble. Let's see how she does in there.
So you're right.
Smash it.
Yeah. By the way, Absolution.
Absolution.
That was the name of Paige, Sonya Deville, and Mandy Rose's faction.
Yeah, I remember it now. So now we're gonna. This should finish it. We've been on it for about. I think this is number 4 now, part 4 now. I think part 3 or 4. It's the. What do we call it again? It's been that long.
State of the roster.
That's it. State of the roster address. We're gonna we go through every member of the roster and say if we keep them or let them go and what we do with them. This should be it. Yes, it has to be it now. Okay, so we last time we finished with Rhino. So Rhino, what stay, go. What's your thoughts on the man beast / machine?
Rhino's a legacy talent for Impact. He's an important part of the company's history, so I would not let him go. I would induct him into the Hall of Fame, and I'd transition him into maybe a backstage role and use him on TV in a wrestling capacity, but sparingly as an attraction.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have him on TV every week. And I certainly, in 2022, I wouldn't be putting the tag titles on him. But, you know, they're a fun team, aren't they, Heath and Rhino? I said, I think it was Under Siege. They were the first baby faces out of the door. On the pre-show, they wrestled Raj Singh and Shira. And the match was fine, but they got a lovely big pop from the casuals and the hardcores. So, yeah, I certainly would not dismiss Rhino.
Yeah, I'm with you. Keep him on, but transition him into that Tommy Dreamer type role, just not as much.
Yeah,
I can get on board with that. He's I mean, he has been in Impact TNA in every era of the company essentially.
Mm-hmm.
He's the NWA days just about. You know, he was then the Impact with the capital I, the Hogan stuff, which was only wasn't as much, but I think he did pop up during the Hogan stuff. Then the Dixieland crap, he popped up for the ECW versus Dixieland, which was so bad. Which was the case with a lot of things. I mean, what was Ezekiel Jackson and what was his name?
Snitsky,
that's it. But it was no, it wasn't Jackson Riker. Geez, no.
What was his name?
Rickon Stevens.
Rickon.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the only good thing to come out of that was he had a fantastic, memorable TNA moment with Dixie going for the table.
Yes.
Like, I mean, that moment, when it happened, I rewound it and watched it again like 5 times. Rewound it, watched it again, rewound it, because it was one of my favorite moments in TNA history because it's fucking back the pop, the roster coming down surrounding the ring. That's probably the best TNA chant I've ever heard. It was spectacular.
Yeah,
I mean,
it happened in the Manhattan Center, which is a historic wrestling venue.
Yeah, it's excellent. I mean, Dixie did break her back, but
I don't know. I'm not sure about that because you watch it back and Bully protects her the whole time. I don't know how she got injured on that.
I mean, it looked to me like Bully missed the table with pretty much all of it, but I think her lower back caught it. Like Dixie pretty much missed the entire table.
Yeah, Bully took all of that bump.
Yeah. Dixie took a powerbomb onto the ring, and I think her lower back caught the table, and that was about it.
Okay.
But anywho. See, I agree. Rhino, yes, keep him on, and because I believe he was working as an agent when he was out injured first couple of months, and he was working. So yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of experience, to keep him on. Next up, we have Rich Swann.
No, you go. You can go first.
I mean, Rich Swann is someone I keep on, but that's because I like him as a talent. But it's almost, what do you do with him? Because I mean, his world championship run, that should have been a lot better than it was for me. You know, it got overshadowed a lot by Kenny Omega.
Mm-hmm.
And as an X Division champion, he was fantastic. Like, so I was at MediaCon 2018. I saw him, and then a few months later, he went on to win the X Division championship. Like, he's that fucking good.
Mm.
But I mean, for me, it was a wasted opportunity for not having Swan and Mac win the tag team titles.
Yeah,
like,
I'm with you there.
What were they waiting for on that one? I don't understand why it took so long. I mean, I know Rich got injured at first Hard to Kill, and Willie went 2-on-1 with the North. That's an excellent match.
Yeah,
but they just didn't keep it going when Rich came back. They kind of danced around it a little bit. Fair enough, they made him world champion. I wasn't a massive fan of that, of Rich winning the world championship. I don't know what it was. Rich is a very good worker, but as world champion, something didn't feel right for me. But I think from post make a decision, I don't know. I'd say keep him. Not even then. I think Rich would be someone I'd let go, because I don't know if there's a lot they can do. What's your take on Rich Swann?
You make a lot of good points, but I don't think I have it in me to let Rich Swann go. Yeah. I think there's still stuff you can do with him. He's done everything. He's been world champion, been X Division champion. He's had tag team runs. I don't think he's won the tag titles. No. But there's still opponents for him. Have we seen Swann versus Bailey yet?
No, that's
potentially Swann and Gresham. Swann's done stuff with Josh as a tag team. Have they wrestled each other? So
I mean, I think they have. I think I've seen that 1-on-1. But I mean, for me, it's, you mentioned all those great matches you could have, but it's then what? Like, if you're pushing Mike Bailey back to the X Division championship, he's not going to lose to Rich Swann on the way. Gresham, if he can go after the world championship, not going to lose to Rich Swann on the way. He's facing Macklin on Impact this week. Macklin's winning that. Because Macklin's the next world champion. He has to be. For me, he's a great athlete, great wrestler, very entertaining, charismatic. But it's then what for me? I just don't see how they can push it further and further. But I don't know. Thankfully for everyone watching, I'm not in charge of who gets fired and fired. But yeah, Rich Swann is a difficult one for me.
It's a tough one. I'm going to say keep him. If you want to say let him go, then I don't hold any ill will towards you.
Yeah, I think he can, because he'll kill it. He has been already. Just don't, because there's more of him still in the independents. But I mean, yeah, I would like to see him stay, but I just can't see what there is to do next after the matches. Now we have Rosemary. what's Rosemary stay or bye bye?
I would keep Rosemary because she is an over character. She's a great character. There's so much stuff you can do with her cinematically. I think she's lost a step in the ring, unfortunately. But I'd still keep her. She's clearly a positive influence backstage. People seem to like her. Yeah. But it's like you said about Rich Swann. What do you do with her now? She's done everything. And, you know, the Death Dolls are the Knockouts champs, but that's mainly Tyre and Havoc. Jessica.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd keep her, but it's a tough one.
See, I think I would say keep her, but when I think about it, am I just keeping her out of loyalty? Because she's a fantastic character, and I mean, you mentioned that she's missed a step, and I think that's been the case for probably since she returned after Homecoming in 2018. Was it? I think Homecoming was 2018.
God.
Yeah,
it must have been. Yeah, it must have been. Yeah.
That was obviously had a severe injury,
and
that's obviously missing a step. But
Homecoming was 2019.
Yeah,
Sorry. 2019. Definitely.
Yeah, because Johnny Impact's world champion, so I think it's the first show of the new year.
Yeah.
So yeah, in 2019. Yeah, man, I do really like Rosemary. I've been fortunate to interview her in the past, and just the way she presents her character. I mean, speaking of Rosemary in character is one of the most fun things I've done. She's excellent, and just can do a lot. But yeah, I think from remembering the poster correctly, I think it's Jessica and Rosemary defend their tag titles tonight against Giselle and Deonna. I think because from the poster, if I remember rightly, Tyre's in the background.
Okay.
So I think it is Rosemary and Jessica defending the tag titles tonight. But we have to wait and see on that one. Yeah, I would say keep. I'm going to say keep Rosemary, but I do think it's slightly out of loyalty.
Yeah.
So now we have thumbs up, thumbs down the Death Machine, Sami Callihan. 100% keep Sami Callihan for me. He is fantastic and is a pillar of Impact Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who can work well with anyone, doesn't need a title to get over, doesn't need a title, just needs to have great matches, which he does, and he can have just a one-on-one wrestling match, but is also one of the best hardcore wrestlers Impact have, and probably in wrestling today. What's your take on Sami Callihan?
Yeah, 100% keep Sami Callihan. He's an ambassador at this point. He's been on the indies so long that everyone knows who he is, and the fact he's even associated with Impact Wrestling is a good thing. I know the Booker man will 100% disagree and say get rid of Sami just like that. He is wrong. Sami Callihan is capable of tremendous work, and we have seen it, before his injury and after. Sami is entertaining. He can promo his ass off, and he can go in the ring. Yeah. 100% keep Sami Callihan.
It's fantastic. So he's someone who's remained loyal to Impact through all the shit. And is someone who it's clear how much he cares about Impact and wants to get to the next level. He's a TNA Impact fan.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you gotta keep Sammy Callahan because you can push him as far as you want to push him, and you give him the ball and he'll run with it. But you can also help build up the next people you see as the guy. He's doing it. He's done it with Steve Macklin. Now he's got the design, and it's technically a new faction, and he's going to help them discover what they're all about, because no one's quite sure what the design are all about, because it's kind of mixed message. You've got I think he's trying to be Gangrel mixed in Mr. Burns, and I think it's got that feel. It's Gangrel mixed. If Gangrel and Mr. Burns had a love child, it'd be Dina.
Yeah.
You've got Alan Angels who just laughs and wears a backward hat and an earring, and you've got Con who wants to try and look like a monster. But with Sammy being Sammy fighting them, trying to help to get him over, essentially. Like, if anyone can do it, it's Sammy. Just before we move on, do you think we get a 6-man tag at Hard to Kill with Design versus Team Sammy?
I'd like to see that.
Who's the
Lord
team
knows who would team with him.
Right. Who's the team?
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I think so, and I think Jake Crist could be one of them.
Okay, yeah, that'd be cool.
I was thinking Wentz, but then I've got this feeling we're going to get the Rascals and have the new Rascals, if you like.
Yeah, now Trey has turned.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw Warrior Wrestling, but Wentz has dyed his hair green.
Okay.
Yeah, it just I think it's just at the bottoms, but his hair is green now. Now, obviously, that could just be, because green, it has been their color for a while. It could just be a coincidence, but yeah, I'm all for it. So now to Savannah Evans. How do you feel on Savannah Evans?
Keeper. She is unproven. I know she's been with Impact for about a year, and there's a couple of directions you can go with Savannah Evans. She's got the tag team route. They're bound to be tag team champions at some point, Savannah and Tasha. But I'm fairly sure she's very young. So she's got time to blossom, time to improve in the ring, time to, learn how to talk and, just prove herself in ring in a singles capacity. So keep her and develop her.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. The Knockouts haven't had a monster in quite some time. Like I said, she's unproven, but we've seen glimpses of what she can do, what she's capable of. And you go to the Knockouts Knockdown and the Monsters Ball match. In a fantastic match, and she smashed it. Yeah. Commentary, I noticed, have been putting her over a lot more recently, referring to her as the Cannibal. And I think that's helped it a lot. Obviously, for the first time, I think she spoke a couple weeks ago for the first time. I spoke on camera. So yeah, I'm for it because there's something there. It's, it did look like for a while they're going to split up Savannah and Tasha, but I think at the minute it's a bit too soon because we're just seeing what Savannah can do. We're just getting to get a full glimpse of what she's capable of. So yeah, I say keep her and eventually break her off. But would it have to be a face turn for Tasha, or would it have to be because
the way I would do it, because Tasha's sneaky. I would keep Tasha villain and have Savannah just get more frustrated with Tasha just berating her, and have Savannah snap and go on this massive babyface run.
Kind of like the PCO thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I combine to that. So yeah, I'd say keeps Savannah as well. Now we've got the EVP, Scott D'Amore. I mean,
yeah, get rid.
Yeah, I know.
What's he done for Impact Wrestling?
I know he just shows up on TV, buries a young talent, and does nothing to help anyone. Joking, love you, Scott. But yeah, you got to keep him and keep him as stick with what he's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I would like a lot of other people like a new Team Canada. So I wouldn't be disappointed that if you went down that route. But he's yeah, I haven't got a problem with what he's doing now. Yeah, he's on TV every week, but there's a reason for it. He's not just there for no reason. There's a reason he's there, especially now with the Josh and Billy Ray feud. He's trying to keep Josh in check, which he tried that with Moose, but you never know. So
yeah, I like Scott.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change a thing.
No, he knows what he's doing. He's done it long enough. He knows exactly what he's doing. So yeah, got to keep the coach. Now we have someone who's is a bit interesting in the fact I've said multiple times this has to be the last chance. Shera. What's your take on Shera?
Yeah, I mean, you've already said it. It's make or break now. He's had multiple chances in Impact.
Yeah.
But then, if you do keep him on, what do you do with him? Because he's never going to be world champion.
No.
I know English isn't his first language. That's why he's got a mouthpiece. But even that's not really working. When you look at the Impact roster and you go down the line and you look at Raj Singh and Shera, you think jobbers. And it's going to be hard for them to shake that stigma. So I'm going to say let Shera go.
I'm with you on that. I just don't see what Impact see. I think I rated him was join the IPWF as a Neptune.
As Neptune, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can't remember the name Lucha gave him, but I know he's linked into Roman Reigns. Which, if we could get that level of workout of Shera, then fucking keep him on. But that ain't gonna happen.
No, exactly.
Don't get me wrong, Al Snow has done a fantastic job of getting the most out of him.
Yeah.
I think they've done, but this is all. I can't see him raising enough. I could be completely wrong, and hopefully I am. But he's been in and out for years.
Yeah.
Since 2015, he's been in and out.
Yeah. Here's the thing about Shera. I can't see him being very expensive.
No.
He's a big, good-looking guy. As in, he's got a good face for TV. He's got a great body, and he can wrestle. I know he's clumsy at times, but he's got a bit of presence. But someone like that, who's losing every week, to put over your other guys, maybe not a bad thing to have on your roster.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the way we're looking at it, I would get rid. But if you're keeping him around solely for that reason, then I don't see why you shouldn't keep him.
Yeah. It's a mixed bag. But for me, no, I've got to let him go at this point. Next up, Shogun. Jackson Stone, Shogun.
So I don't think I've seen more than 5 Shogun matches. So
I think
it's too early to say You know,
But he's been around since
great
2018.
looking. Sorry.
He's been around since like 2020.
Mm.
Signed one gut check, and was announced at the Atlanta tapings just before we went into lockdown.
Mm.
And we only saw him on the odd BTI match or the odd pre-show match.
Yeah, I think they obviously want to do something with him, but they haven't pulled the trigger yet. He looks great.
Right.
The character looks really cool. It'd be a great action figure. Be a great micro brawler one day. But yeah, I can't really give a definitive answer on this one.
No. I say cut your losses.
Okay.
We've had him for 3 years. I say cut your losses. But that's just my opinion.
That's fair enough.
So we want to get to the final 10. We've got about 5 minutes. So tell you what, next we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people left. So we'll go quick fire.
Okay.
All right. So first up, Steve Macklin.
Obviously keep.
Yeah, keep. Absolutely. Su Young.
Yeah, keep her because they're obviously about to bring her back.
Yeah.
And you know, she's obviously got, there's cool stuff you can do with her.
Yeah, I agree. Keep her. She's fantastic at what she does. Tasha Steeles.
Keep.
Yeah, you're still quite young. Still got a lot left to do. So
and they just signed her for like 3 more years.
Yeah, 3 years. Awesome. Taya Valkyrie.
Keep.
Yeah. But again, there's going to be a certain point where we get to, she's done it all, what's next? But for now, keep.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor Wilde.
Oh, keep. Yeah. I mean, legacy talent, but there's still so much you can do with her.
Yeah. Like this, she has the history to help a lot of people, but also we barely got to see enough of her when she was there in the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's only going to improve. The design.
As the faction. I think we've spoken about each member individually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
kept them all. So, yeah.
Yeah. I'd keep Dina, keep Angels, get rid of Con.
I say keep them all because it's just getting started and they need to find themselves a bit more. There's time.
Yeah, I think there's better people out there that could replace Con. But like we said about Steve Macklin, like we said about W. Morrissey, you know, we've been wrong before. I've been wrong before. Prove yourself, Con. Make me eat my words, and hopefully in a year's time, I will be talking about you. I'm talking to you right now, Con. Hopefully I'll have the same words to say that I humbly eat my words.
Yeah. No. If prove us wrong, please prove us wrong. Tom Hannafin.
Keep. He's been fantastic.
Excellent. His history knowledge, beautiful.
Yeah, I never thought much of Tom Phillips in WWE. Tom Hannafin in Impact has been outstanding.
Yeah, you can tell he's got the freedom and he's got no one in his ear telling him what to say and plug this, plug that.
Yeah,
he knows what he's doing.
How good would Michael Cole be in Impact Wrestling?
I mean, I'd love to find out, but probably never will.
Not a chance.
Never gonna find out.
He'll run that company one day.
Yeah, if he doesn't already.
Yeah.
Next up, Tommy Dreamer.
Keep. He's a great mind for wrestling. Use him on TV sparingly, as in once, twice, 3 times a year in a wrestling capacity. Don't book him on pay-per-views.
The only time. Good.
Go on, again.
So the only time I want to see Tommy pay-per-view, I'll be okay with him at Hard to Kill if he turns and helps Bully.
Oh.
Give him something else to do. Give him something else to do. That's where I am with Tommy Dreamer. Give him something different because Have we ever really seen Tommy Dreamer as a heel?
Oh, not as a focused, figure point heel.
Yeah. No,
Background
I
player in the Alliance, maybe, but
yeah,
other than that,
I wouldn't be disappointed if Tommy turned. I don't want him to. I don't just to lose, but I think that's that's what I'd like to see anyway. Next up, the X Division champion Trey Miguel.
do we even have to?
No,
obviously, Trey's one of the best wrestlers on the roster.
Yeah, keep him and keep him on this trajectory because I like it. Next, Yuya Uemura.
I mean, you keep him, obviously. I don't know if he's even signed to Impact. I think he's a New Japan trade or loan.
Yeah, he's on excursion.
Yeah, keep him. He's been fantastic. He's young. He's still learning. I think in 10 years' time we'll be talking about Yuya Uemura like we talked about Hiroshi Tanahashi. I think he's your next Tanahashi. I think Takeshita on AEW is your next Okada. And if they have a match in 10 years' time, if they start a feud, it could be the next Tanahashi Okada.
Yeah. Fantastic. He really is. I'm becoming a really big fan of him. And it just proves that this New Japan relationship is stronger than it has been for a very, very long time because they're trusting Impact to not fuck this up like they did with Okada.
Mm-hmm.
They're trusting Impact to not fuck up. Finally, Zicky Dice.
He's been very entertaining as part of Swingers Dungeon. You've got to keep him. He's comic relief. He's never going to be world champion, is he?
Yeah.
I'd love to see them have a short tag team title run, him and Swinger. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But other than that, there's not much more you're going to do with him. But you keep him around.
Yeah, I like Zicky a lot, and Jeff says it a lot on the main channel, and I fully echo those sentiments. I want Dice and Swinger to have a bromance like tag team run because I love Zicky, great character, and when Zicky was released from the NWA, I can go back and look at my old tweets, and I've been saying we need to see Zicky Dice and Johnny Swinger as a tag team. When Zicky was in the NWA, I was saying this, and it's happening, but not to my liking. Just they can do a bit more. There's a bit more to it, and I hope Swinger gets his 50 wins as well.
So just a quick question about the 50 wins thing. Is it 50 wins from now or 50 wins overall? Because Tom Hannafin said Swinger's record in Impact Wrestling is like 31 and 90 something. So if Swinger's already got 31 wins, does he just need 19 more wins and he gets a world title shot? Or does he need 50 wins from now?
I think it's 50 straight wins from now. I think that's the way it's been presented to me anyway. I think it's 50 wins from now.
And he lost. He lost on Impact.
Lost the 2-on-1 situation against Bhupinder, yeah. I mean, I hope they can sort it out.
Yeah.
But it's see how it plays out. But now we're going to get, for the final time of 2022, we're going to take a little walk on over to that final 10. And we're going to look to the future now and go through our 2023 ones to watch. This is going to include some local UK promotions, local UK talent, and also people on the Impact roster of who we think are going to have a great year with Impact, or we think should have a great year of Impact. And you can let us know who yours are as well. So we'll start off with on this side of the pond. Promotion. Is there a promotional set of promotions that you think they're going to have a great 2023? I mean, for me, I've already got my. I've certainly got 2 picked out, because there's 3 even. I've got 3 promotions. I think I'm going to have excellent year, and right now, from my thinking is, Pro Wrestling East. They're gonna. We've already had a great year this year. They're gonna have a fantastic year next year. Sovereign Pro, their second ever show next year, and they've got Josh Alexander defending the Impact World Championship. That is a strong start. And also Wrestle Carnival. The Wrestle Carnival, they had a banging 2022, and I mean, for me, Gary Ward has been an excellent booker. Really has pulled it out of the bag and just smashed it. On the same show, he had Eric Young and Scotty Tarty on the same damn show. It's 400 people in a building in Coventry, in a nightclub in Coventry, to see that excellent show. And that's not just that, he's worked with Pro Wrestling Noah this year. Worked with Ring of Honor, worked with so many other people. So promotions to look out for me, like I said, Pro Wrestling East, because again, they've had, like we said it during the final time, and we had Frank Fiat on, the mix of on the cards of like people massive on the scene currently and people coming through the scene is one of the best mixes of talent I've seen. Sovereign Pro, they seem to have the money behind them, and which isn't a case for a lot of promotions, but they are doing some great stuff. And now with the new venue, in my opinion, a better looking venue, they're going to smash it. And also, Wrestle Carnival, because everything I just said. How about for you? What promotions do you think are going to have a great year?
I would 100% agree with you for Pro Wrestling East. They're getting so much attention, so much more attention from every show. It's exponential, their growth. I think they need to get out of their current venue. It's a great venue, modern venue. I love it, but it's not big enough. The people they're bringing in and the attention they're getting, they should be in bigger venues. But, it's only early days.
Yeah. And
hopefully they're able to continue this growth and hit other venues soon. Maybe in 2023, hopefully. I think they need to get their content out there more. I know the stuff on YouTube gets a fair amount of views. I think they can be doing that better. I don't know how. Look at DOA. They're on Fight TV. And hopefully this will be another great year for DOA. They've got a great relationship. Alec has a great relationship with Fight TV. They're getting fantastic views for the shows that they do, because they drop on a Thursday, and no other promotion really drops content on a Thursday, which means if they were dropping on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then they would get lost in the mix of all the other promotions. Because they drop on Thursday, they got a lot of attention, and that is so cool to look at the numbers. They're getting thousands and thousands of views. So hopefully it'll be another banner year for DOA. I don't really know much else about other promotions, really. So I can't really comment.
No, I mean, there are so many promotions out there, and it's been a great year for British wrestling as a whole, in terms of the people who've come over to the scene, the people who are booking shows, some of the best bookers. It's great to see. So it's so many promotions out there that are going to smash it. So now got into the UK wrestlers. And again, there were so many to choose from, but just to pick one or two, I mean, again, it's probably a little bit biased in the fact that they're former TBN chats guests, but like I said, there's a reason we have them on the show. And Leon Slater immediately comes to mind. I mean, this year alone, he's wrestling GCW. He's got his face Zack Sabre Jr. He's been in the Natural Progression series. Progress, absolutely killed it. North Tag Team Champions with DeReese, excellent. Again, man like DeReese, that's another one for me.
Yeah.
For next year, because again, what a year! He's competed for the Progress Wrestling World Championship. He's the Wrestle Carnival champion, the Kamikaze champion, one half of the North Tag Team champions. He's wrestled for WXW, faced Eric Young. It's been a belting year for him. It can only pick up from there. And also, I think Smashing Mike, I think he can have a great year, because he had an excellent match with Michael Oku. Fantastic match, which one should go check out. It's this, but there's so many incredible wrestlers. Mentions to Lucia Lee, to I mean, there's so many incredible wrestlers, and it's great to see. What you who springs up to mind of people to keep an eye out for?
I think 2023 is going to be breakout years for Zach Zodiac. I think he's going to America next year. We know this. He's got a tour booked. I think AEW will snap him up. He's got the connection there now with Paige, Saraya. It just makes sense when Tony Khan sees Zach's work and just sees how versatile, because Zach can do absolutely everything. He's a big guy, but he can also fly. He can talk. He can do comedy. He can brawl. He can do everything.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be a shill for the Knights, because they're responsible for me being involved in wrestling. But I have to call it as I see it. Zach is one of the most talented wrestlers I've ever seen.
Yeah, you can't disagree with that. I haven't seen it, but for accounts had a banger against Great Khan at Rev Pro.
Mm-hmm.
He's got facing Gideon Gray at the next Rev Pro show.
That will be an entertaining match because they're both funny guys.
Yeah. No, as you're saying.
Alex Windsor.
Yeah.
This will be her year. Again, exponential growth. And she's got connections, but she doesn't need them. She will be one of the top female wrestlers in the world.
Yeah.
There's nothing more I can say about Alex Windsor. Her talent speaks for itself.
Smashing it, winning titles all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely smashing it. Yeah. Two incredible. So many good wrestlers on here. I mean, we had we're fortunate to have Zach on. He said that the best wrestlers in the world are in the UK, and that's be very hard to dispute that.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking at the people on going all over the place and having fantastic years. So you can't really disagree with that. It's been an excellent year for British wrestlers and British wrestling. And it's, if this year was ever to go by, next year is just going to be insane. So before we head off, Impact. Right, we'll go through the championships and who we think will be who look to be champions in the future. So World Championship, who are you going with? The Impact Men's World Championship.
Okay, I know we said Josh would beat Bully Ray at Hard to Kill, but I am starting to change my mind.
Really?
I have a feeling that Bully will win the title. He won't hold it for long, but it'll be another hurdle for Josh to overcome. Like Moose.
All right.
I think somehow Bully will win the world title at Hard to Kill, and Josh will be back on the chase, and he'll win it back, and then it will be Steve Macklin's time.
It's Steve Macklin for me. No matter what happens for me, he's the next world champion, and I can't wait because it feels like an EC3 type rise.
Yeah, big time.
So I'm all for that. So we don't keep everyone too long. We'll do the rest of a quick fire. So Knockouts World Championship. Who's the next champion?
Not Mickey James.
No,
unfortunately not. Giselle Shaw.
I think Giselle will be a champion next year, but after Jordan, I think it's going to be Marsha.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I think it's still to pull the trigger on Marsha.
Yep.
Digital media champion.
I think Henry's going to keep it for a while.
That's a tough one. Yeah.
But Bhupinder has to get it at some point.
Yeah, that's my thinking. Bhupinder looks like an option for the next one but I agree. Joe Hendry's going to keep it for a very long time, hopefully. Because I think Matt Cardona's the longest reigning at the minute, but I think Joe will break that and set a new record to potentially be broken by Bhupinder given their tag relationship. Men's tag team titles.
I'd keep him on the guns.
Ace and Bay.
Yeah. Cool.
ABC. Knockouts tag team championships.
Oh, that's hard. That's hard because who is there really? Savannah and Tasha.
Yeah, I think either Savannah or Tasha or the Bin. It's going one or two ways. If they don't get more tag teams in,
do that again.
I think it's what warrants a conversation for the new year. But if I believe they can actually do something properly with these, then I will say Savannah and Tasha. So then we'll go to the X Division Championship. Who's looking like they could be in shot? I think Speedball will get another run.
Yeah, I think that's a great shout. And rerun that classic they had it against All Odds.
I think Speedball will get a new run. Trey will hold it for a long time though.
Hope so.
Trey will have a serious run because obviously his previous run got obviously personal issues and injury, so it deserves to have a good run. And this character is very, very intriguing. So there we have it. Those are our predictions for the new year. Thank you for sticking with us for this year. It's been insane. I mean, we've been doing this for a year, and the fact you stuck around and watched it and got involved in our nonsense. So shout out to everyone who's ever watched an episode, anyone who's ever retweeted or commented us or added us and told us what they thought of the show. We appreciate you. Of course, go check out Jeff will be live on Christmas Day over on Twitch. So go check that out if you're around or not, if you're not overdone by the merriment. Go check that out and just again appreciate you. Thank you to every single guest we've ever had on TBN chats because it's been some of the most fun conversations we've had. It's been so much fun to do. Really appreciate you sticking with us, and hope we stick with us into the new year as well. Nixon, anything you'd like to say before we head off into 2023?
No, thank you, Frank Fiat, for the entrance music, and thank you, Craig, for a year worth of content. 52 episodes now.
Yeah,
We've done a year's worth of shows.
it's been awesome, and thanks to you for coming on with this utter nonsense, because it's been really fun. It's been a lot of fun, and I mean, a couple of years ago, if you'd asked me to be doing all this content, never would have believed it, because I couldn't even speak to other people. Now doing this, and yeah, I'm excited for the new year. Excited to come up with new stuff for everyone to enjoy. So with that, I've been the MIC. This has been Nixon. Until the new year, goodbye, my friends.